Hey, it's Russ from Pro Tools Expert, and I'm going to be doing a show and tell on Feel the Love by Rudimental. Quite a cool track, and as usual, if you want to go and hear it, head over to iTunes or Spotify or somewhere else and have a listen to it. You might already have the single. It's a great track. It's got a lot of complexity in it, but I just wanted to look at the bit where we've got a power saw going on and a saw wave that's playing, and then it goes down with a filter and some other cool stuff going on. So what I'll do first is I'll play you the sounds and stuff. And as I say, head over to one of the sites where you can listen to this, and then you'll be able to compare the two. So right now I've got this, and what we're trying to achieve here is the saw wave sound, and then the sweep down and the sweep up. It's a very common trick in dance and very common trick in pop, where we have filters that are bringing stuff down and filters that are bringing stuff up. So I've done it on this track and shown you how it does. So have a listen to this and you'll know what I'm talking about. So there's this riff going on, and then it breaks down and you'll hear how it goes. So there's the riff we're talking about in the sort of first part of the song, Feel the Love by Rudimental. So what's going on there? Well, there's a couple of pretty straightforward things, which are the kit and the bass, and we'll look at those in a while. But it was really the synth I was going to concentrate on, because the synth's doing this. So, how are we doing that? The first thing we're doing is we're opening up Expand, and there's not a real sound in Expand that you can use as a preset. So I've created one myself, and I'm using this really cool sound, which is basically, if you go to the basics, strangely enough, saying the word basically, and you come to this Super Saw Basic here, that's what Super Saw sounds are made from, oddly enough. Hey. And the way they make this sound is basically it's a saw wave, and then you detune it, and you create a big stack of it. So that's it on its own. You'd never believe that was the sound. But once you start to detune it, which means we put more and more oscillators together, which are the sound generation sources, and then we detune them. And you can hear straight away now. Which is very different from that. Sounds like a kind of Bon Tempi organ from the 70s. I'm not content with one of them, so I've put two together. And then I've panned them left and right. If you listen to this track, it's got loads and loads of reverb on it as well, so... And that's carrying the sound, because you need that reverb, because the actual sound itself has got no release, and release is the time it takes for the sound to stop once you stop playing. Let your hands off the keyboard, let your fingers off the keyboard. So I don't get slightly overexcited, so it sort of inhibits my ability to speak. So normally you could do it like that with release, but we don't want that. We want that, and then we're using the whole reverb to create the tails. So you have the immediacy of that sound because it's got a very fast release time. But we still have the whole reverb that's taking it along. So basically, we have two copies of exactly the same sound with slightly different variation, which gives us the sound difference. So there we are. So that's that. And that's playing along. And let me just, for a moment, just mute the vintage filter. Now, as you can hear, that's not changing. The way it's changing is I'm using a vintage filter, and I'm using the cutoff frequency. And the cutoff frequency, in this case, a low-pass filter, is enabling us to reduce the sound as it goes through. So, as it's playing, there's the cutoff frequency changing. And basically, as it goes further through the song, we actually automate that going on. So if we come down here, you'll see here, I've drawn in here the cutoff frequency there going down as the song goes on. So as we play it through from here now, so you can see what's happening there with the cutoff frequency. How do we do that? Well, you may have seen videos of this happening before, so this is a trick I use a lot in tracks. You go into your automation, which is these two little sort of oblong things here, and you choose from the left-hand side what you want to automate. Well, we've already got cutoff in because I've already put it in there. So you could choose other ones and push them across, and then they become automatable. You can have automation on them. And the way you find the automation is you drop down this arrow here on the track if you can't see it. And in here then, you'll see an automation line. Then all I simply do is get my pencil and start drawing in the automation, or use my hand tool to move it around. Just make that bigger so you can see what's going on there. So you can see there's the automation drawn in. Can move it all around like that as well. Or we could push that up a bit further. On its own it sounds a bit crummy, but you start putting the kit in as well. So we have that in there now. So we put the bass in as well. So the final thing to really give it the effect, as that's coming down, as we've got the cutoff of the synth coming down, let's just make those, push that all back in again. We have now also, in this channel, a signal generator, and the signal generator is a plugin that you get, and it can generate white noise. Now, white noise without any filtering on sounds like this. It sounds like you got the telly left on at night. It's that kind of sound. That's white noise, and white noise is just a complete, spectrum of sound all playing at the same time. That's what you end up with, or pink noise, which is even lower, which gives you kind of low and rumble. So I've got my white noise in there. And again, what I've then done as well is added some dynamic delay on that as well. And when the dynamic delay's in as well, what that does is give me an effect of echo as it's playing. Now, of course, that's not going to work until it gets to the end of the track. Then the final thing is I add the vintage filtering again, but this time we're doing it in reverse. You see that's coming down, that synth. And as the song rises up here at the end, we have a vintage filter doing exactly what it did before. And as it comes along this track here, as we move through that, if I actually just take that off mute for a second, you can see as I'm going through different parts of the timeline, it's rising, 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 rising. And there you can hear the delay there at the end playing. Let's hear all of that in action then. So of course, this is in mute mode because of course I've got it in mute mode. And so what I've done as well is I've got the bypass here. And again, like before, I've added the bypass of this plugin in as an automatable thing now. So as you can see all the way here, it's bypassed all the way through here until the very last minute. So it's in and then it bypasses right at the very end. So it's gone. And it's in. And it's gone. Let's hear that in the track now. The difference that will add is absolutely quite remarkable, and it's used all the time in pop and in dance music. So without it first. Now with it, this is the difference. And there's the echo on the end to give it a bit of extra energy as well. So let's hear the whole track now. So there we are. That's how you get some of the sounds from the song Feel the Love by Rudimental. Hope those tricks have been helpful. You can use them in your own productions. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you again soon.